Hey guys, Banana Luck here and welcome back to another Watch Your Realms video. So since the reset, or rather an hour before, we actually got a sneak peek into this weekend's banner and looks like we have another ancient banner coming up. Even though we just had the Iova Canelian one just I think 2 weeks back, we're back with the Ardea Ajax one. Ardea which we did pull in that Iova Canelian banner. We're gonna take a quick look at these two heroes and discuss whether or not it's a good chance for you guys to pull, and uh, also to take into consideration the rumored banners that will be coming out during the anniversary, which is in July, which is in about 1.5 months time. So without further ado, let's go into the heroes. So Ajax, amazing for faction trials, also a top tier unit in GVG, mainly because of his faction bonus, which is that he can be considered any member of any faction within the team, and he can be affected by the Lord skills as well. If you think of something like Nightmare units, Nightmare Lords, Ajax will benefit from the attack speed buff. Same thing with the Esotericist faction, he will get the reduced rage cap. Same thing with Arbiter and all those Chaos units as well, even though Ajax doesn't actually have any kit to reduce his damage, or rather his HP, so it doesn't really benefit from being in a Chaos faction unless you have Durza. And other than that, this versatility also means that he can be placed in any faction trials. So if you're lacking Shamir on the Northern Trials, Ajax is great there because he's a mage and he can fit into the Northern faction trials. Now, onto his skill kits and his cores, I think PvP wise, Arena, it's not that great because of that 26 cost. It's way too high for a unit like Ajax, but he does have pretty ridiculous range. If you can place him in the right spots, can actually cover the entire spawn area. And stats wise, it's pretty decent, not the best, but I think other than that, the other highlight of his skill kit is his last passive. When any enemy approaches within 2 tiles of the hero, inflicts magic resistance reduction, and this is 20%. And I think it's one of the highest, if not the highest in the entire game, which is why Ajax is great even in Gear Rate 1, even though he has very high cost. The magic resistance reduction does a lot in helping you to clear that stage and burn through the healing that the boss does. And of course, with his ultimate, it's very good burst, and he also does inflict burning, which is nice. And what I understand is that he really shines in A3 when his Thunder Strike chance increases up to 25%. So yeah, absolute banger of a unit. If you have a Piercer faction team, he works really well there as well because he does get his range extended, and given how big his range already is, he's gonna get lots of bonus damage if you're looking at Araka or Iova as a Lord with the bonus. So that said though, Ajax can be put in normal banners. So if we head back to the summons, you're gonna see that Ajax is actually part of the normal drop pool. So he's great, don't get me wrong, but it depends on where you're at, right? If you're very close to PD, then you might need to seriously consider if you want to risk pulling Ajax. Well, with rumors of Praetor's or Valderon's banner coming up next, which are, ancient exclusive lords. Ajax you can pull anytime from normal summons, even though he's freaking rare because it's a lord. But those are things to consider. I myself, very close to PD. We are at 177. So that's do the map at 35 away from PD. So very close. I don't think we're gonna risk it, especially since we've gotten Ardea. I think if I didn't put on the Iova banner and I didn't get her, then this is something that I can still consider because getting just one copy of her is rock solid. No matter what, even if you have a Northern Lord or Chaotic Lord, she's still gonna benefit a lot from it. But more when it's with Elder or with Gun, not as much as with King Haas. So why is she so great? Just look at this attack, 7.9k. I think the only person that comes close is actually Magnus. We look at This swap. Yep, gallery is here now. I think Magnus is the second highest in the game. Yep, 7.9k as well. I think slightly lower, just like 10 or 20 lower. But obviously, Magnus doesn't have the insane range, the insane faction affiliation as Ardea has. And even though she's a AoE focused unit, as you can see in her kit, 100% damage up to 7 enemies, and same thing with her talent. She throws that circular saw, which, you know, cuts through all the units in the way. She is actually very, very good in single target as well, and her cost is actually very low for Arena, sitting at 12. And you can almost immediately deploy her if you're playing single target. AoE as well, but you just need to find a way to cover the other lane before that. So she does bleed as well on top of all that, and basically you want her as having as little HP as possible. So yeah, and she has Great Awakenings as well. Awaken 1 gives defense reduction, 10%, not too much, not too little. This one extends her ultimate, something like what you see on Hex with his A3. And then you have her A5, which just, you know, gives her 15 rage every time the blades return to her, which she does every time she does a normal attack. So, amazing unit. I did showcase her during my pool for her last week, or rather 2 weeks back, where we show her soloing Gear 1. She's also one of the key units for Gear Dungeon 2, although you can replace her with Volca very easily. And defense-wise, she's great for AoE, as well as single target. We'll just demonstrate here for a bit in the test. You can see how even though she's an AoE focused unit, she does pretty damn well. So gonna put Siren down first. Then Valeria down next. Ardea comes slightly later, just in terms of deployment, you know, sequence. Because her ultimate, one downside is that her ultimate is an auto one. So deploying it in this order allows me to actually, you know, cycle through the ultimates and get it in the right timing to clear instantly on wave 8. You'll see that in a second. Now we have Silas down. The last unit for us is going to be Gun. You really see her doing very big numbers, even without her HP being low. It's going to activate her ultimate here. You're going to see 289k per hit. It's only going to get better. That's 496. And even on normal hits without her ultimate on, that's 333. The ultimate here, which I missed out. You're gonna see her absolutely crush even in the later waves. That 591 was from her? If not, it was from Valeria. Yep. Just throwing these random numbers out. So you can see obviously she's not only good for AoE content, even in single target with Gunlord. She's doing pretty damn well. And if you pair her with Elder, it's still decent, but you will need a bit more, one more unit actually, Gwendolyn, to make sure that there's always a shield up on her. Just gonna pop the ultimates here. That's how we usually have it. There we go. I will return with a sharper axe. Damage charts, yep. Normally Ardea and Valeria go toe to toe. I think the ultimate timings might have messed that up a bit, but you can see here, absolutely banger of a unit. if you look at AoE, which takes too long for me to actually go through the defense testing, it typically does about 50 million, whereas Valkyra does about 12 to 16 million, around that range, depending on how the round goes and the BP of the opposing unit. So really good unit. I think the uh, issue for most people will actually be whether you're gonna risk exercising your PD on the Ajax. If you just got your Iova a few weeks ago, or you just got a lot last week, then absolutely go nuts on this banner. Try your luck to get her, but if not, then it's a big question for you whether you should hold out for Valderon operators, even though Ardea as a unit herself is pretty amazing too. I am testing her out in GVG, but still not had too much good results with her due to placements. So we are trying something new this week and probably showcase her again to see, whether she shines well there, because definitely met teams with Sargak as well as Ardea, which just absolutely rip through any unit that you place through to them. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. If you have any questions on whether you should pull depending on the lineups or the heroes that you already have, feel free to leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.